Yeah, this is probably going to be the last video. I'm about 200 odd K out of Perth. Anyway, I just want to tell you the story about last night. I got myself a bourbon. I was going to stop at a pub, have a beer, because I really deserved a beer after last night, and have a counter meal. Then I realised what I look like. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but my bloody shorts are filthy dirty. The t-shirt filthy dirty. I don't know, can you pick all that shit up? Got shit all over my face. I thought, no, I can't go and have a counter meal looking like this, so I just got a couple of bourbons for a takeaway and got back on the road. So anyway, last night, alright, let me tell you the story. Hang on. I've got to get my sunnies. Oh, I've got my sunnies. Sun's in the eyes. So I was in Kalgoorlie. I was at the super pit, and I was there for a couple of hours. I was just like googling other tracks to go and do, and shit. I had a week to go before I got to be in Perth. So I was just googling like, what can I do? And there was nothing really interesting. I mean, there's lots of tracks, but they're all like fucking 4 or 5 day tracks and all that sort of shit. And something in my eye. And to be honest with you, I just had enough. Like nearly 7 weeks on the road now, and I just had enough of swagging it and all that sort of shit. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to Perth. I'm going to head to Perth. It's about 1 o'clock or something. So I would have got into Perth 8, 9 o'clock last night, maybe 10. Anyway, so I'm heading down the Great Eastern Highway, and I seen this little tourist sign that said some rocks, Garra rocks or gnarly rocks or some rocks go that way, 5k off the road. I thought, oh yeah, I'll go and have a look at that. So I went down there. It was nothing special, nothing interesting. But there's this like little 4-wheel-drive track, and the Bees Knees boys would like this one. And I thought, oh yeah, one last track before I get to Perth. It's always the last track, isn't it? So I go down this little 4-wheel-drive track. It's all good fun and shit. And I come across this. There's one of the buggers right there, right? See that salt lake there? That one's actually got a bit of water in it. But I come across one of them, had no water in it, and it looked pretty cool. Had some old telegraph poles going across it and shit. I thought, oh yeah, my car looked really nice next to one of those poles in the middle of a salt lake. I'd take a photo. I'm going out to do that. So I start driving. Didn't let my tyres down. I walked it first, and it was all felt pretty firm and shit. So I started driving out there. About 100 metres, start sinking. I'm thinking, uh-oh, and then sinking, and then uh-oh, I ain't going nowhere. So I get the max tracks down, and it's that like sticky mud, you know. So dig a little hole, put the max tracks under, and actually, before a match race, I think I tried a couple of backwards and forwards and ended up sinking quite deep. Chucked the match tracks under, didn't help much. Ended up just like the wheels were spinning on the match tracks, and they ended up just going like digging into the mud. And so I winched off the old telegraph pole, nearly pulled that out in the ground. But that actually got me up onto the match tracks, because I managed to dig some match tracks out, and it's probably all on the other videos. Got the front wheels up on top of the mud, but the back, the diff was hitting the mud. And I remember from out at Norseman when I'd done exactly the same thing. You'd think I'd learned my lesson, wouldn't you? Go out on the mud plane and get stuck, and you think, well, I won't do that again. Well, no. I remember from Norseman, my diff hitting the ground, I had to dig a little trench for the diff, so there's nothing like stopping the car from moving. And it was getting dark, right? And I thought, oh fuck digging. I was already muddy, right? I thought, fuck digging under the car. I couldn't get under there. And my shovel was broken. I'd broken my shovel because of the mud. Is like just fucking and fucking broke my shovel. And it's getting dark, and by this stage I'm starting to panic, right? Starting to think, oh fuck, I'm fucked now. So anyway, I got the front wheels up on top, but the back wheels were still deep, and the car wasn't moving. All I was doing was spinning. I didn't want to spin the front wheels too much and dig deeper holes and shit. So I thought, oh fuck it, I'm gonna get someone to pull me out. I knew it would cost me money. So I got about 20% battery left on my phone. I thought, oh shit, I need more than that, you know, in case I get into trouble walking somewhere. Plug my phone in, let it charge up for a little while. I grabbed this little torch thing that I've got. It's got fuck all battery left on it. Stick that in my pocket. That was just in case. And I was in my jocks, so I put a pair of shorts on because, you know, didn't want to be walking anywhere within my jocks. People would be thinking, what the hell's going on here? And I got my friggin' thongs on as well, right? My phone's charged up to about 40%. I thought, oh, that's going to have to do. I'm going. This time it's dark, right? But I can see by the moonlight. So I got my HEMA maps on the phone, right? And I'm about 1.5 km away from the main road. I thought, oh, if I head straight that way through the bush, I'll hit the main road and then I'll hitchhike. And I knew there was a roadhouse up further. I didn't know how far, but I remembered seeing a sign for it. So I thought, I'll make my way to that roadhouse. What's going on here with my phone? Oh, Sandra's ringing me. Hang on a minute. Sandra! I have to call you back because I'm making a video.
What?
I'm making a video. It's a porn.
Yeah, I know, obviously.
Yeah.
So you know Meriden Bus?
Yeah, I've bought some bourbon in Meriden and I've kept moving on. I've just parked in their little parking bay.
I can't hear you. Ring me back when you finish
Right.
making your porno.
So, what was I up to? So, I'm walking through the bush in me fucking shorts and thongs, right, dark. Wasn't using my torch because I could see by the moonlight. I'm going through fucking spider webs and shit and getting scratches on my legs from little bushes and that. And I made it to the main road. So I'm fucking hitchhiking, right? Car after car going past, no one stopped. I must have walked for about, I think I left the car around 5:30ish, and I got to the roadhouse about 7ish or just after 7, so nearly 2 hours I walked for in my thongs. And yeah, so I'm walking, I'm thinking, like, you're on a straight, I can see the car's headlights and I can see their taillights going. I'm thinking, oh man, I've got ages to go. And you get to a bend and you get round a bend and you see this car taillights going for miles, and I'm thinking, oh my god, how far is this one? Anyway, I keep walking, and I come across a little sign. It said Yellowdine or Yellowdine, I don't know what it's called, we'll call it Yellowdine. 2 Ks, I thought, you pisser, I'm nearly there, right? So I keep walking, get to Yellowdine, or Yellowdine, fucking the yellow joint, right? I get to this yellow roadhouse. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, be, you know, a couple of Aussie people in there, been around the area for years, you know, they probably get this sort of shit all the time, they'll come and drag me out. My plan was, right, I was going to go and get help and come back, right, and if they didn't want to pull me out that night, I was going to walk back to my car and stay with my car because I was worried about leaving my car out there, right? I had all my computer, my video camera, my photo camera, my iPad, all my other shit as well, you know. So I didn't want to leave it out there. So I thought, if they don't pull me out tonight, I'll walk back to the car, sleep in the car, and they can come and get me tomorrow. So I get to this roadhouse, right, and it's, they were new owners, they hadn't been there long, Indian couple, lovely people, very helpful, but didn't know shit about helping anyone getting pulled out of the mud and shit, right? So he lends me his phone because I got bugger all battery, plus I had no reception inside the place, but if I walked outside I had one dot reception. So get on his phone and rang a few places in Southern Cross, which is about 35k away. No answers. Then this chick pulls in a ute, and she heard what was going on and that. She goes, "Oh, you bogged, mate." And she goes, "Oh, no, just ring Southern Cross Tyres in the morning, you know, they'll come and help you out, blah, blah, blah. They've helped me heaps." All this sort of shit. She goes, "Don't worry about your car, just leave it out there, it'll be fine tonight. Just get they got dongers at this roadhouse for people over east who don't know what a donger is. It's just like a little site shed that they convert into rooms, right? So she goes, just get a donger for the night and sort it out in the morning." And I thought, oh yeah, I might as well, because my arse cheeks were actually hurting from all the walking I'd done. I'd never had that before. So I thought, oh yeah, I'll do that, I'll get a donger. $65, right? Go in this donger, right? It's got a toilet and a shower in it. No soap in the shower. I'm covered in mud. Got no clean clothes, got no phone charger, left everything in the back of the car. So I jump in the shower and just wash myself, like, just with no soap. And it's freezing cold, right? They've got a little TV. I thought, oh yeah, that's cool. TV don't fucking work. They got one of those old style air conditioners, that heater as well, right? And it's freezing, so I turn the heater on. Fucking noisiest thing you've ever heard. And the doona is like, the doona's a sheet, actually. Thinner than a sheet. If you can get thinner than a sheet, that's what the doona was. So I've got the heater blaring away at 29 degrees or some shit, can't watch telly, think fuck it, turn off the light and go to sleep. Couldn't sleep, I'm stressing, right? I'm thinking, I'm going to get back to my car, it's going to be stripped, all my shit's going to be gone. And then I'm thinking, oh hang on, what if it sinks in the mud, like overnight, it slowly sinks. So all night I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get back and my car's going to be like disappeared and I'll never see it again, all my shit's in there. And I just couldn't sleep, stressing, tossing and turning. The heater's going all fucking night. Right, so anyway, later on in the night it was pretty hot, so I turned the heater off because couldn't sleep over the noise. 10 minutes later I'm fucking shivering cold, back on with the heater, and so lost my train of thought now. The car just pulled up. Hang on a minute. So, where was I? Anyway, get up in the morning, right? Stressing off my head about my car. Call the guy from Southern Cross, the towing service. He goes, oh yeah, give me an hour and a half, I'll come and pick you up from the roadhouse. So he comes out, right? And I've told him, I said, look, I'm about 100 metres in on the lake. I said, we're going to need some big planks or something to put under the tyres to pull it back up onto the surface, you know. Because I was worried if he drags me backwards, it's going to drop back into the holes that I got out of, and then it's just going to dig into the mud and go, like, sink further down, right? That's what I'm thinking. So I told him all this shit, and he's going, no, it'll be right. He goes, I'll just winch you out. So he turns up in this little Ford Courier. I think, fuck, I know you're going to get me out with that. Anyway, I jump in and we go out there. On the way out there, he's telling me these stories. He's recovered a few people off the lakes and shit. He's telling me about this one woman that went back there to get her car the next day and it sunk and filled up with water and shit. And I'm thinking, oh my God. I'd put all my computer and cameras and shit down low on the floor and covered everything up so that if someone did come, they wouldn't see any electrical shit. And then I'm thinking, if the car's filling up with water, well, that's all the first shit that's going to go. So I'm stressing again. And anyway, we get out to the lake and I can see my car. And it was like my heart did a little skip for joy, you know, and my brain's like dancing and shit. And everything's fine. It hasn't sunk at all. No one's touched it. It's still there. So we run out all these extension straps and fucking chains and all this sort of shit. And I, like I said, I was worried about it going down into the holes and getting pulled in. So I got all these bits of sticks and twigs and branches and shit, filled up the holes and just sat my max straps on top of them. And he started winching and it come out so easy, nice. Got up onto the top of the mud again and I just reversed. I drove it. I actually drove it back off the lake in reverse, made sure I didn't run over all the straps and that. They all sort of uncoiled underneath me. And it was such a relief, hey. It was like my shoulders were like that, and all of a sudden, poof, all this weight was gone, you know, and the stress was gone, and fucking incredible. But then, now I look back at it now, right, and I probably could have got out myself. It's just that it was getting dark. It had actually gotten dark by the time I'd left the car, and I was just panicking. I was just thinking, I'm fucked. You know, I'm out here on my own, don't know what to do, how to get out and shit. And my mind just started going haywire. Whereas if I had just kept calm, not panicked and shit, I reckon I could have got out on my own. Chainsaw would have been handy. I could have cut up some trees and shit, but I could have just like got heaps of logs and shit, put them under the tyres, and I could have done it. I'd let my tyres down to 10 psi, and I reckon I could have done it. It would have been a lot of digging and muddy as hell, but you know, that's what happens. I just panicked. So it cost me $300 for him to get it out. I followed him back to Southern Cross and he let me use his high pressure washer, quite a good high pressure washer. Took half the paint off my sliders, but there were like just clumps of this like clay mud gunk like stuck to everything under the car, like heaps of it. So it took me ages to wash it. It's not even clean properly. I've just given it a good, like, got all the inside of the rims clean and shit, because driving back to the thing, it's going like this because it's all out of balance and shit. Ah, man, it was a worry, eh? It was a fucking worry. But all's good that ends well, or whatever, all's well that ends well. $300 it cost me, $65 for the donga, broke my shovel, $20, nearly $400 recovery. So expensive little photo opportunity, wasn't it? So how long has this video been going? 17 minutes. Holy crap. I'm going to stop this one, because this one's going to take about 28 days to upload. I might drive down the road a bit more, have a bourbon. I've got some stats for you. Fuel, how much it's cost me, blah blah blah. I'll make another video later on. Alright people, be good. I'll be in Perth tonight. So this won't be the last video. I'm going to do another one. Lucky you. Catch up.